Okay, so pi. You know what it is, or maybe you don't. In case you don't, it's not this stuff. In fact, it's this really long number that's pretty much impossible to memorize, so don't even try. It's actually an endless number. The ancient Egyptians and Babylonians are credited with actually first inventing and using this number. The Babylonians took the ratio of the circle they were using, got the square root of that, and multiplied by 3. Their number was actually pretty close to what we use today, 3.125. The Egyptians made the formula a little bit more complicated, but still manageable, I guess. They found the diameter of the circle, multiplied by 8, divided by 9, and squared the result. Try it out. It actually works. And, I mean, who knew ancient people were so freaking smart? On the other hand, Archimedes of Syracuse said he came up with the first theoretical value of this crazy number we call pi. He found out that 22 over 7 is greater than pi, which is greater than 223 over 71. So he kind of got an approximate value. Another thing he did was put a polygon inside a circle, inside a polygon, inside a circle, and so on, until there were a whole 96 sides to one of the polygons. Imagine how long that took to measure. I know it seems like a lot to process, but this other guy, James Gregory, found a whole nother way to find pi. He figured out that pi over 4 was equal to 1 minus 1 over 3 plus 1 over 5 minus 1 over 7 plus 1 over 9, and so on. But it's kind of a crazy method, because to actually find that, you'd have to keep going on with this insane pattern for like millions of times, and it would only come out to be not even a totally accurate measure of the number. But still, it's pretty amazing that he could come up with such a pattern, as long as complicated as that. Flippin' brilliant.
And then, early in the 18th century, this crazy-looking guy, John Machin, polished up Gregory's formula. In fact, this is the formula that computer programmers use these days to compute pi. This refined version of Gregory's formula came out to be pi over 4 equals 4 arctan times 1 over 5 minus arctan 1 over 239. Another mathematician named William Shanks used this formula to publish the first 707 digits of pi. Unfortunately for him, only 527 of the digits were actually right. There is actually another way to compute pi, this time using probability. Starting with the grid of parallel lines, if you drop a needle of length k is less than 1, the probability that the needle falls across a line is 2k over pi. This way is more common than you think. A lot of people have tried to compute pi by throwing needles, and some ants use this to measure the size of potential nest sites. This method using probability to compute pi was created by this guy over here, George Buffon. He was a French mathematician, as you can tell by the name. Well, you're probably wondering why the symbol for pi turned out to be this table-looking thing. In 1706, a British mathematician named William Jones published that 3.14159 equals the symbol for pi. When the symbol was adopted by Euler about 30 years later, this became the standard symbol for pi. Makes it a lot easier than writing out that whole number, don't you think?